Building a brand new AM5 PC on a tight budget was near impossible a year ago. Thankfully, we have a slew of components that have come crashing down in price, and it makes more sense to go with a newer platform. My goal here was to build a sensible PC with the Ryzen 5 7600X that would be perfect for 1080p gaming and would have no trouble lasting the next 4 to 5 years, and all that for a budget of less than $900. For the base of the entire PC, I needed a high-quality motherboard that comes at a good price. The MSI Pro B650MA Wi-Fi is one of the best budget AM5 boards, as it covers all the basics really well, which includes 4 RAM slots, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, 2 M2 slots, and a decently powerful 8-phase VRM that can even power a stock 7950X. The rear I/O is good, even though I would have liked the inclusion of 2 USB 2.0 Type-A ports to prevent wasting fast USB 3 ports for peripherals. Also, do note that this is a micro ATX board, which means that it comes with fewer PCIe slots than an ATX board, but this also results in a lower price tag without compromising on anything else. You could go even cheaper, but please stay away from any A620 motherboards since this won't save you much money, and the overall quality of the motherboard is going to be significantly worse. There are other places where it is much easier to save money and still get a great deal. For example, for RAM 16GB DDR5 kits were simply too expensive to justify their price, and I have been recommending getting 32GB as a bare minimum to those building DDR5 based PCs. Thankfully, now 16GB kits are becoming more and more affordable, and the Patriot Viper Venom 28GB DDR5 5200 CL36 is a great kit for around $65. I would have wanted this kit to either have tighter timings at CL32 or CL30 or higher speed at 5600 megatransfers per second or 6000 megatransfers per second, but nonetheless, it's still a fine kit. Some would argue that 16GB is not enough these days for a gaming PC, but I am yet to see a PC that can't play a game with 16GB of RAM. Moving on, SSDs are also getting really good, and it's easy to go with any PCIe 4.0 SSD. I ultimately chose the Crucial P5 plus 1 TB because it is affordable and has a DRAM cache, which helps this SSD sustain its performance during intense workloads. Since this PC is primarily for those who want to focus the least on the GPU for now, with intentions to upgrade later, I went with the PowerColor Fighter Radeon RX 6600. For around $200, it can play all the latest AAA titles at 1080p and high settings at 60 frames per second. The only significant jump from the RX 6600 is the 6700 XT, so you're not missing out by skipping the 6600 XT or 6650 XT if you have a tight budget. The RX 6600 is also extremely power efficient and consumes only around 100 watts of power when pushed to its limits. That means that the total power consumption of this PC will be about 200 watts or even under during gaming. So while I could get away with a cheaper 500 watt bronze power supply, I opted for the Corsair RM750E instead. It is still an affordable unit that would be plenty if you decide to upgrade this PC later down the line with a more powerful and power-hungry CPU or GPU. Since this is an ATX 3.0 unit with a 12 VHPWR connector, it will even run something like an RTX 4090. And if you do go with a graphics card with a massively beefy cooler but want to stay on a tight budget, then a PC case like the Zalman S2 should do the trick. It has a lot of space for even the longest cards, and it even comes with 3 120mm pre-installed fans. The airflow is excellent for the price, and for these components, it should be plenty. Unlike the non-X Ryzen 5 7600, the Ryzen 5 7600X does not come with a stock cooler, so I went with the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 SE, which will be good not just for the Ryzen 5 7600X, but even the 7950X at stock speeds. In conclusion, the Ryzen 5 7600X offers a great opportunity to get on a platform that is likely to be supported for a long time. AM5 is set to last a decently long time, just like AM4, and as PC parts have become more affordable, it has become an obvious choice for many. At just under $900, it is a little high to be considered a true budget PC, but given the quality of parts and long life of the AM5 platform, it is certainly well worth investment. You can check all the PC parts mentioned in the description.